Do you think society in general is more generous or more materialistic?
It's interesting for us because we're from a small town in Australia. So generally, I think they're pretty generous.
Yes.
But when we go to the bigger cities like the Gold Coast, I think it's a bit the opposite.
Less generous with their time.
Yeah.
Whereas, where we're from, it's
Very generous.
Yes.
I would say.
Very difficult question.
Okay, I think when you dig deeper, people are generous, but on the surface more materialistic.
I think a lot of people are generous. Difficult question. Yeah. I think most people that I've met are quite generous. Also in my circle of friends, I guess I can't speak for the entire world.
Yeah.
But I think, well, that's probably just because my worldview is kind of like, most people are nice or good generally. So I would think that most people are generous. Yeah.
I also think that many people try to be generous or are generous, but circumstances or influences tend to make people more materialistic.
Societal pressure.
Yes.
Materialistic.
Materialistic.
Unfortunately, materialistic, I would say. I think so. That's my opinion. I'm not saying it's good.
Okay.
But I think that's unfortunately what's happening.
I would say generous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Realistic.
Definitely materialistic.
There's a tendency for people being more materialistic, but then there's very generous people, I would say. But that's not the...
The tendency is materialistic. What about yourselves? I think I'm quite generous. I'm above average, I think.
I don't really care much about material things, but I also think much about myself, I would say. Yeah, more individualistic in that sense. But yeah, I also, if somebody asks, I can help. For sure, I will.
I would say we try to be more generous than materialistic. Yeah. But the society, I think, doesn't make it easy always to be like that. But that's why you need to try even harder to, work against it.
Mm-hmm.
Against the greed and everything.
But doesn't everyone try?
I hope so, but I'm not sure, actually.
Not sure if everyone tries.
Maybe in their own way. So.
Yeah.
Ich bekomme viele Rückmeldungen vom Steuerberater betreffs meiner Spenden.
Ja.
Gerade im Tier- und Naturschutzbereich. Und das findet er extrem schade, dass ich das Geld so investiere. Und ich nichts davon, wie die Altersvorsorge oder so.
Where would you put yourselves?
I want to say that I'm generous, and I think I am. Maybe. Am I generous?
Yes.
No. Damn the sound. No. I think I'm a generous person, and I think that's also kind of a moral value that I want to uphold.
Yeah.
So if I'm not, then I definitely have to become more generous right now because it's something that I value in life.
Well, I can agree. And I think I'm also more generous than materialistic because it's also a value that I value in other people. And of course, I can improve myself in being more generous. And I'd like to be more generous or seen generous, if I'm honest.
More generous. More generous.
Globally seen? Like
there's a definite increase in materialism. And, I think a lot more value has been placed on that. And perhaps a shift from appreciation of generosity and time to more of an appreciation for what you have materialistically. Definitely.
I think a lot would do with I don't know, a lot of social media now too.
Yeah, we're coming to that.
Yeah.
So the next question is, do you think people are more content with what they have, or do they usually compare themselves to others?
I think they compare themselves a lot.
Yeah. I would say so as well.
Because I do that too.
Yeah. And I think with social media, it's easier nowadays, to compare. What you have, what other people have.
So these are
They compare themselves to others. For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
comparing themselves to others and wanting there's always a trend.
Yeah.
And you have to have the next best thing.
Mhm.
Whereas, you really should invest in quality and something that will last a long time and
Yeah.
is timeless.
Yeah.
I believe personally.
Yeah. We have a lot of sentimental
Yeah.
things, stuff from our families, and
Yeah.
but we also don't really use that much
No,
social media. We sort of
stay
off
away
that.
from it.
We have to spend time together with friends and
Yeah.
things.
I
so-
do think it leads to less satisfaction in life when you're on.
Yeah, if
social
you're on there
media.
all the time, yeah.
I think people always compare themselves with usually there's you can never generalize, but people usually compare to others what they have, but I wouldn't say everybody, no.
I think everyone compares, and everyone, in one way or another, tries to get better at their own stuff in life. But at the end of the day, it's unavoidable to compare yourself to other people, especially nowadays with social media and the standards that they portray there in their profiles. I think it's unrealistic to say that you don't compare yourself to anything.
Schon eher mit anderen vergleichen. Ist ja so ein bisschen wichtig. Was kann ich präsentieren?
Ja.
Ja, schon was das Prestige merkst du ja gut gerade immer an den Auto, die immer noch grösser und noch dicker müssen rumfahren. Und wir sind beide 70er-Generation. Und da sind die Autos, wenn du heute den VW Käfer anschaust, einfach ein Mini-Auto gegen die Auto heute.
Ja.
Ob doch eigentlich alle Menschen wissen, wir sollten mehr machen für die Natur und für die Tiere und für die Nachhaltigkeit, geht die Menschheit völlig in eine andere Richtung.
I don't know if a person can ever have what they want. I feel like a lot of people it's always this kind of thing of wanting more, or I don't know a lot of people who would be like just content.
Well, in general, I think they are less content with what they have. It needs reflection and, I don't know, also inner work that you really can be content with what you have and not strive for more, because it's kind of comparison can be seen from different angles. And of course, there are, the downsides and the upsides. And I mean, for example, pros are you can, improve yourself, being more comfortable for others, generous. Yeah.
I think most people compare themselves all the time. I don't think there's a world where comparison doesn't exist. And I think comparison has like a negative connotation. Definitely has bad sides, I guess, but it also has this kind of, if you compare yourself to a person that you maybe aspire to be, or you think they carry values or behaviors that you want to achieve, I think then comparison can actually be helpful.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing my legs alive again.
But I think we can't stop compare ourselves because it's also a subconscious thing.
I think it's human.
So, it's
human thing.
Then for yourselves both, you compare yourselves.
Yeah. Definitely.
We would lie, I think.
I would lie if I'd say no.
Yeah, maybe not so much in material things, but maybe in life phases or whatever, something like this. But I'm quite satisfied, I would say.
Also, wir haben ein kleines Auto, wir haben E-Bikes und wir haben zwar ein Häuschen.
Aber mit dem Vergleich, also seid ihr zufrieden selber, oder merkt ihr, dass ihr euch oft mit anderen würdet vergleichen und so, hey, gut, aber
Wir sind zufrieden. Wir arbeiten auch beide nicht 100%.
Das ist gut.
Genau.
I'm being content with what I have.
Nein, ich bin zufrieden mit dem, was ich habe.
In general, are people more arrogant or more humble? Wie sagt man das so?
Hampelmann.
Hampelmann.
It definitely depends where you are and who you spend time with.
Yep.
I think what I see on social media, there tends to be a bit of arrogance.
Yep.
And that comes with wanting what's the newest thing, the best thing, the flaunting your wealth. Yeah.
Yeah. It sort of
Depends
it's
where
sort
you
of,
spend your time.
promotes vanity, and
Yeah.
why are people quite narcissistic now, all about themselves and but globally, I don't know, because we also tend to be visiting people that are very like-minded to us. So I think it's
You're always in your
You're always
circle.
in
This
your
is why you
circle.
push that, like more globally.
yeah.
Difficult. Really difficult, I would say. Today more arrogant. Yeah.
Eher hochnäsig.
I would say humbleness.
I don't know.
I'll start then.
Yeah.
Arrogance, yeah. I think arrogance is much more prevalent nowadays than humbleness. It's difficult to find a really humble person that doesn't have like undercover thoughts and tries to be as good as possible, like has a true intention and a true heart. It's very difficult to find a person like that. And arrogance, sometimes you masquerade it with other things, and humbleness is one of them. You can use humbleness to masquerade your arrogance, and that's what people do most of the time.
Well, usually arrogance is more visible as well. So then you feel like you see it more, but I guess depends on the part of the world you go, or everything depends on how people act, and yeah.
I really can't generalize it. I don't know. It's so, I don't know.
I don't think there's like a kind of definite answer to that.
50-50.
Ich weiß nicht, wir treffen sehr viele Menschen, die zuvorkommend sind und sich in die zweite Position können stellen können. Es gibt natürlich auch andere Menschen, aber mir denkt schon, der Großteil der Gesellschaft hat einen gewissen Anstand, wenn man dem so sagen will.
Auch das Selbstbild von sich selber. Also die meisten denken nicht, sie sind das Zentrum der Welt.
Gut, mal, das ist schon mehr. Der Fokus ist schon...
Ja, es geht so um Stolz, aber so schlechter Stolz. Weil man kann ja auch gut stolz sein.
Es geht schon darum, ich habe das Auto, ich habe das Haus, ich habe die Kleider. Also,
Genau, und so, wie so das Gefühl haben, ich bin so. Okay.
But I don't know. I cannot answer. I don't know.
You don't know about yourself, you know?
I think I'm both. Sometimes I'm humble, sometimes maybe not.
Nicht, also, nein.
Du bist
beiderseits.
Nein. Darum sind wir auch im botanischen Garten und nicht irgendwie im
Wahrnehmung.
It depends.
Depends.
Yeah, it depends. I think sometimes you have to be arrogant.
When?
Difficult to say. In some situation, I think it's better to be arrogant, to have their own opinion and to say what...
to think we're right and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
But it must not necessarily be arrogant.
They are different kinds of arrogance, I think.
Yeah.
I think people carry both aspects in their personality. I would say there's things that I'm arrogant about, but there's also aspects of my life where I maybe don't see the things that other people see, and I'm more humble about it because I don't kind of feel it the way that other people do. For example, if a person thinks about me that I don't know, it's not true, but I'm really good at, I don't know, running, I guess, and I don't feel that way, I'm obviously going to be humble about it. But I can also, I think it just depends how you've been socialized. If you've been told that you're good at this, or you experience that feeling of goodness yourself, you'd be more arrogant about it. If you've not experienced as much praise for the things you've done, then maybe you would be more humble about it.
I don't think I'm arrogant. Just a little bit, you know. Healthy bit.
I'm definitely more arrogant than humble. But I try to be humble and always
Not out of masquerade.
exactly. I'm true. Like I will tell you what I think, but
That's good.
I try to be humble, especially not hurt other people when I'm speaking out of I'm trying to be funny or something, and I turn out to be arrogant, but I never try to use it to hurt people.
Exactly.
When something is not as people like it, are they usually more collected or quick to anger?